China's crippling economy and grueling work culture has turned people into birds? Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell, and something really strange is happening to China's youth. They're becoming birds, or at least they're pretending to be birds. And yes, it's every bit as weird as it sounds.
忍不住化身一只固执的鸟，逆着狂风一直飞到底。
People are posting pictures and videos of themselves on social media posing as birds by hiding their legs and sticking their hands out from underneath their t-shirts like talons. Happily, nobody's trying to fly off a roof or pooping on cars right after they get washed. Now, many of these clips seem very lighthearted, and these posts may seem a bit bizarre, especially to people unfamiliar with Chinese culture. But this is a lot more than just a social media trend. This is a protest against a system that has made the future seem pretty bleak for a lot of young people in China. In other words, trying to thrive under communism is for the birds. This isn't the first protest of its kind. A few years ago, there was the lying flat movement. It was a popular Chinese hashtag that encouraged people to give up on intense struggle. Then there was Let It Rot, which took lying flat to a new level by encouraging people to stop caring whatsoever, believing that nothing can be done. I can't tell if it's impressive or counterproductive, turning not moving into a movement. There was also involution, a term which describes people engaging in an endless cycle of self-flagellation, or the experience of being locked in competition that one ultimately knows is meaningless. And now, birds. So why birds? Have they gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Are they just huge fans of historically accurate dinosaurs? Some young people in China are pretending to be birds as a way of dealing with the pressures of daily life. After all, birds don't have to worry about studying, job hunting, and working long hours that don't seem to get them anywhere, as well as high costs of living and other societal pressures. Plus, nobody judges them for eating pizza crusts off the ground. Young Chinese just want a break from being human. As one user put it, don't go to work, just be a bird instead. Another points out that birds can fly free and aimlessly in the sky, saying that the social media trend expresses the innate desire within every person for freedom. Of course, as long as the CCP runs the show, there won't ever be true freedom for Chinese people, just bird cages for everyone, with anyone who tries to escape shoved right back in. Which might be a bad idea. After all, China already ran a campaign killing birds. It didn't go well for them. Life is tough for Chinese youths. Even just getting a job can be a serious challenge. Things have gotten so bad that China stopped keeping track of youth unemployment, only to republish it with a new method to make its numbers look better. The youth is out lying flat, while the CCP is flat out lying. But even for Chinese youths who have jobs, things aren't much better. Many Chinese workers are being overwhelmed by the 996 work culture that has people working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week, and the brutal competition that comes with it. It's technically illegal, but without any real enforcement of the law, plenty of companies still engage in it. The thing is, Chinese people don't get much reward for all the effort they put in and day out. Many end up settling for much less pay in return for job security. Because of this, some think jail is better than work. And that's saying something considering how bad jail is in China. The job market is so bad, prisoners are begging to not be paroled. This, in turn, is really screwing over people's health. One 2016 study found that over 300 million people in China have sleep disorders, and nearly 40% of adults have insomnia, which the CCP hears and thinks, you can't sleep? Great, we'll have you work even more hours then. People are getting so overstressed that they're willing to do anything just to keep functioning, such as nap therapy sessions, suction cup therapy, and growing bananas on their office desks. Hey, is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just about to die from exhaustion? The banana trend is a play on words. Employees doing it call it 停止想焦虑, or stop banana green, which sounds a bit similar to the Mandarin phrase for stop anxiety, 停止焦虑. All that's to say, Chinese people are really miserable. And that touches on the root of the problem, the CCP itself. The CCP's legitimacy depends on a promise it made to the Chinese people decades ago. You get economic prosperity while we get total control. Because it's the CCP's own policies that put China into its economic quagmire in the first place. Chinese netizens are now saying that China has entered the garbage time of history, a period of economic stagnation or regression in which failure is all but inevitable. And there are plenty of reasons for people to think that. Of course, Chinese state-run media keeps insisting that China's economic miracle still continues, and it routinely cracks down on negativity over the economy. But no matter how much China tries to hide it, things are going very badly. So badly, in fact, that even China's notoriously unreliable official data shows China losing revenue from domestic value-added tax, corporate income tax, and personal income tax in the first 6 months of 2024 compared to last year. Which makes it seem pretty strange that China claimed its economy beat expectations, growing at 5.3% in the first quarter of 2024. China recently had its third plenum to lay out the CCP's economic plans, and it's giving Chinese people even more reasons to despair. For one, it promoted the optimization of institutions in counties with small populations, aka lots of layoffs for civil servants in small counties, which means fewer jobs for people looking for stable positions. But on the bright side is what I would say if there was a bright side to this. It's bad. And that's not all. Sino Insider, a China risk consultancy, notes that the third plenum listed several proposals. These would lead to price increases for energy, transportation, and utilities, as well as expanded discretion for local governments to levy fines and increase taxation. In trying to collect more money, local governments will end up making everything even more expensive and make economic recovery even more difficult. If only Chinese youths could grow wings, they'd migrate in a flash. Here at China Uncensored, we love pointing out how the Chinese Communist Party has failed the Chinese people, including our young bird friends over on social media. We can't do it alone. The show barely gets anything from YouTube ad revenue, so we need your support. Please head over to patreon.com/China Uncensored, where you can support us. And today I want to give a shout out to two fans who actually sent me a handwritten note. Chris and John from Oregon. They write, "I want to thank you for your YouTube channels. My husband and I never miss a broadcast. We really appreciate all the hard work you do." Really appreciate that, Chris and John. I've been doing this show for over 12 years now, and I've always been blown away by how passionate so many of you are about China and the Chinese people. As far as I'm concerned, the China Uncensored community is a bright spot on the otherwise dank internet. Thank you again, Chris and John. Thank you for watching. Before we go, I have another video. I want you to check it out. Just click here and give it a go. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.